Hi, this is Dominique with Ground Zero Radio, and we have the special honor of talking to a very esteemed guest.
Hi, it's so great to be here. Thank you for letting me share this space with you. My name is Royal Allie Barnes, and I'm the acting director here at the Office of Arts and Culture.
It is so great to be speaking to you today, Miss Royal. We wanted to kind of talk to you a little bit about your role in terms of in relation to the exhibit. So, if you could explain a little bit more about your role and kind of what part you played in helping this exhibit come into fruition.
You know, my role is very small because it's the curator and the 1% for Art staff who bring this into fruition and our long history of having civic art and public art. So my role is to make sure that we're funded, that we're here, that we can gather, that we're accessible, that we have all of the utilities that we need, and that we have the ability to gather as a people with the will for culture and make the art and talk about it.
Absolutely. I really love that. And I was wondering how these pieces, if you could kind of explain a little bit in detail how these pieces came to be a part of the Civic Arts Collection, if you have an understanding of that. Because for us, we're not aware right now if it's these pieces were specifically commissioned as to be a part of the Civic Arts Collection or if they were acquired after the fact.
Well, actually, the Civic Arts Collection, the 1% for Art, is done on what we call a call. And so there's a call out to artists to share and to submit their existing works. And then we use a peer panel, some of whom are youth, to look at the work and say, yes, we need to add this to the Civic Collection because it builds social cohesion, because it represents cultural humility, because it represents all of our ethnically diverse and thematically. So it's really a high intensity process. And I think our last actual call was like 2019 and then COVID hit. So we'll have something upcoming.
Absolutely. That is so wonderful. And I know the pandemic has put kind of a pause on art. So I'm wondering with this exhibit and seeing how lively it is, kind of, what is the intention behind highlighting these pieces of art and bringing, the community into the space?
These are amazing questions, right? We could go on for hours. But long story short, you're absolutely right. The pandemic not only put a kibosh on gathering, but here's the other side of it. It brought out new voices. It brought out work that we've never seen before, work that we've never heard before. So this celebration is a reinvigoration of that will of the public to make that art. And we actually, with our 1%, we also, this celebration for 50 years, we're also celebrating an emerging artist, Augustina Forrest. So you see that the evolution of how the arts are going. So that's the big upside of how this work is made and why it's here. And there'll be more. This will be all the way through September, so there's more time. Gathering, I think we've had 600 people through here since May. So there is the will to gather. There's the need to view art, to conversate around it. Isn't that the term you all use, conversate? I still use conversation. But to conversate about the artist. And tonight, artists are actually here with us as well. So exciting.
Yeah, it's so exciting, like you said. And I'm wondering, there's any, as interim director, if there's any main takeaways you want people who are experienced this exhibit to kind of come home or come back to their communities and take away from these pieces of art.
Take away the fact that art makes our civilization, that art looks like us, that artists look like us, however we may look, that we have the cultural humility to be in a gracious space and share that with broad community. That's the takeaway. And then all of the things that you love or hate about what you've seen, but controversy like beauty is in the eye of the beholder. So there'll be more conversations. That's the takeaway, that we're open, we're welcoming, and we're accessible. And the arts build society. That's the big takeaway.
Yes, I know that's right. Miss Royal, I totally second that. And I'm also wondering, lastly, kind of what role did community play in either bringing this together? I know you talked about the collaboration with the 1% for Arts, and also kind of what role community plays in the actual art pieces that are seen here today.
Well, all of these artists are pretty much local Seattle artists. So they are community. They are the art sector. So these artists represent different communities across the city as well as regional artists. So the artists are supported by the community, right? What we say is Every artist who's national is local somewhere.
Mhm.
And this 1% for Art exhibition for 50 years shows the integrity and the efficacy of being local and being embedded in Seattle community. So the community is the foundation. So we love it.
Well, thank you so much, Miss Royal. It was so amazing to talk to you. It was such a pleasure to talk to you. This has been Dom with Ground Zero Radio. We're here for the first 50 years of the Civic Arts Collection. Make sure to check it out. It's going to be here till September.